Yeah, how's that? How's being in the same room working out for that chemistry?
Yeah, it's a little unnerving.
Bouncing off each other. Yeah.
It's a little unnerving at first. I don't know, it's weird. It's just, you're there.
Well, I have an audience again.
Yeah.
Just watching me.
It's like live.
Watching my every word for the funny one.
Every movement.
I just have so much respect for you.
Just let me balls drop out of my trousers every now and then. Just to really disillusion you, like a dad. Think of how dads disillusion people. You want me to fail to calculate a tip at a restaurant really quickly?
We just need a really disappointing political conversation.
Look, son, think about your Corbyns. They're all working for the Russians. Now, you might not remember the Cold War. I was there. In the Cold War.
You were 6. Yeah, it was cold.
You never put the heating on. Yeah, Cold War. It was against British gas, the fucking commies.
Yeah, you can't just use that interchangeably for any contretemps that you had with a UK energy company in the 70s.
You had an air raid shelter and you used to smuggle us all into it every time it snowed. Yeah. The Russian trap.
Yeah.
Using the cold.
When Eon came in finally, it was like the Bay of Pigs. That's what we called it.
That's what me and your Uncle John called it. We fought it off single-handed. Just outside the corporate office. Fucking come out here, mate!
Never released the files of that, no matter how much I ask.
It was alright, though.
Yeah.
Right, Sylvester Stallone eventually fixed it.
You mean Jimmy Savile? Shut up, son. You haven't even seen Rocky.
You haven't seen it. What's your generation doing? Avocados.
I think the poet or the filmmaker or the musician, the poet must not avert his eyes. You must not avert your eyes. This is what is coming at us.
Podcast that is coming from inside the house. Oh no!
What?
Oh shit!
Oh God!
It's in here somewhere. Get out.
Pointing at myself. Listeners at home.
We're gonna have to get used to that again. Wait a minute, you guys can't see us? Oh.
Yeah, but someone can. And it's mighty weird.
Yeah. I'm Paul Salt.
I'm Paul Goodman.
Holy shit, he's right here!
I know, in the same room!
Oh, we're podcasting together again for the first time since episode 50.
Yeah, since our first episode 7 years and 8 weeks ago.
Halcyon, mate. How are you finding it being back here in the UK?
Well, it's cold.
Yep.
Everyone has a certain look about them in the UK. They're sort of ready for something. They don't know what it is,
but yeah. I'm pretty excited about it.
But they are ready and wary. I said thank you to a guy who let me off the tube yesterday, and he looked like I'd spat in his face. But like,
you don't look at him after.
No,
that's the trick. Say thank you or fuck you, but never look at them after you've said it.
He was caught in an infinite gratitude loop. He didn't know what to do with himself.
He was so happy.
just so nonplussed by courtesy, human contact.
No, honestly, I think with England, I think he was just baffled by it.
Yeah.
It's like his heart went warm for a second, and he was like, "What? No!" And he just threw himself under the tracks.
I said I wouldn't feel that again. Not in London.
Every man under the tracks that you hear about on the tannoys, that's just someone who was thanked and they didn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah, so it's good to be back. I had about 2 months in Melbourne where I had to get used to everybody talking to me.
Oh now I'm shit, back. That sounds awful.
It was, and then it wasn't. It's great to be back, mate.
Yeah. I think it's good to be the talky one.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think I've ever had a conversation with someone who just... But then again, I'm not an attractive woman, so that flavours it a bit. I don't think I've ever had a conversation with someone I just randomly met on the street and thought, well, that was bad. Unless they've come over to, personally chastise me or a part of me.
Oh, interesting. See, I tend to still distrust people who come up to me on the street apropos of nothing.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want from me?
Yeah, we've got too many salesmen and panhandlers is the thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people handling pans out there.
And skinheads.
And skinheads, yeah, and they always come up to you, trying to be your friend, trying to get you in the gang.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I just spent a week in Northampton, and we were crossing an old...
Ipso facto, I just spent...
Well, we were walking past a snooker club in Kingsthorpe, which is the sort of the district in Northampton where I was born and grew up, and these two old boys who were approaching us in the street, and on the opposite side of the road there was a drunk with his jeans hanging down over his ass,
Nice.
and leaning over a wall for support. And we thought, oh, we'll chance it with these old guys. They look lovely.
Yeah.
When we got closer, one of them looked like he was about to go to war, and the other one was wearing Fred Perry.
Sorry, I just imagined like Timmy from Jurassic Park in the Pacific.
Yeah,
like he's just a tiny kid in the corner with a tin helmet on, like, oh, he's ready to go to war.
Oh no, I mean no. Oh no, that's the wrong analogy. Then he looks like he'd been to a war, and he was going back, and he knew exactly what was coming.
He didn't even care that much.
No, and then the other guy was just wearing Fred Perry, so it's a fucking nightmare. And we didn't know what to do, so we just walked down the middle of the road.
That guy was wearing Lee and Perry. It's really just, it's not a good situation for anyone.
No, so it is good to be back, mostly because we're finally in the same room again.
Yay!
And I'm ready to have a great podcast discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so speaking of which, we don't have a full episode for you today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah, you probably wondered, wow, I can't believe those Pauls managed to get an episode edited and uploaded on Christmas Day without really putting themselves out, damaging themselves psychologically, and hating each other. Anyway, we haven't got a full episode today. Instead, we have an episode of clips that you've not heard before. Don't worry, it's not a clip show. You don't want to hear it, and we can't be bothered to compile it. Mm-hmm. In editing, we often cut bits that are either too saucy, too irrelevant to what we're talking about, or just too damn not funny enough. So
the top brass don't know what to do with that.
They don't know what to do with us not being quite good enough for that. But often we don't want to throw these things away, so we keep them. And now I keep them, yeah.
I keep nothing. I haven't got the last episode because I've got about a gig left on my Mac.
Brilliant. Need that for dick pics.
That's just there for my reflection.
So we thought we might share some of these clips with you.
Yeah.
Because we love you.
I love you.
Yeah.
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 Paul tells me he loves you.
Yeah.
Hasn't proved it yet.
Proved it. Haven't gone out there and really, held up a bunch of cue cards in front of your husband. It's a weird bit of love, actually, that.
It's a creepy bit. Someone was watching that on the plane, and I got to relive just that moment. And it is fucking weird, Andrew, what's your face?
Lincoln?
Yeah,
Andrew Lincoln University. That's a very very odd thing that you've done there.
Man who came up with Love Actually just so he could do that bit to Keira Knightley.
Yeah. Also, wasn't he dropping the cards just onto the floor? So if 12 Years a Slave had come out, just, oh, I like carolers, he would have had to have just, scrabbled along the floor. Oh, mate, what are you doing here?
He'd just fall down on them. I'm disabled now. This is my trolley.
Also, if you just change the music, the bit where Keira Knightley's watching the videotape that he's taken of the wedding and has only filmed her is a genuine horror beat.
It's Boy Next Door, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Boy Next Door. It's just, oh, you only filmed me. And if you change the music, it'll be perfect because you do see Keira Knightley's massive smile slowly transform into a much more serious face, which the music tells us is her going, oh, I didn't realise.
Yeah.
But it could be, oh, I didn't.
Honey, get the kids.
Not a lot of people in San Francisco have basements. I do.
Yeah, so podcasts.
Yes! Let's have some clips, shall we?
Ooh! How about this one?
So here's what happens when my desk fell apart right at the beginning of the episode. Twice. For context, the clip is immediately following after I ask the very important question, how are you? Oh, shit!
You're not.
My fucking keyboard and mouse, just the whole tray that had everything of mine computer
life
on it. My life just fell out.
Oh.
Oh no!
How are you doing, mate?
Yeah. Jesus! What happened again? Fuck you.
It's that good desk setup. I can't see Paul anymore. He's disappeared from the camera. I think he's on the floor crying. Sometimes when you can't tell the difference between laughter and tears. And you think someone's laughing, you're like, great, mate. Oh. And then you have to stop laughing.
Oh, you piece of shit.
So back to how I'm doing.
Yeah. How you doing, mate? So, what do you think of that crazy clip?
There's a lot of insults at the desk that I think were thinly veiled, intended for me, actually.
It's always a problem.
I see why you deleted it now.
It's a good compassionate response from you. I feel when my entire situation just falls apart. Jesus, no!
Anyway, back to me.
Well, I mean, you did ask how I was, I guess. Do you still want to know? Still want to hear it? Oh, I guess not. I guess you're busy.
Not even doing anything anymore. Not even trying.
Okay, this next piece is entitled Old Man Suspiria.
Oh, what?
And is from our Catwoman prologue, following our discussion that the seats at the front of the cinema might just be the best ones. But you know, there's always old pricks up there in the front. I reckon it's because... I always thought it was because of a visual impairment. They have to get close to the screen. I reckon they've just figured it out. There's a trick.
Well, I mean...
That the old folk
Old
have.
people... That is old people. That's what they do. They figured it out. They've had, what, 40, 50 years of life?
Yeah.
Oh, see what I did there? I hate getting old. It's disgusting.
It's the worst thing. Never do it. It's just die at 35.
Do you know what, actually? I went to see Suspiria. We can cut this, but I went to see Suspiria, and it was just me and an old guy. And he was coming in. I went, he's not going to like this. He's old.
And then at the end, he stood up on his own and clapped.
Yeah. He went, best film since the war.
The war was showing in the next screen. He'd walked out of that. Come over here.
He's like, been there.
I'm only 17. Old man. I really love it when you say, we'll cut this, because it really sets me up for a great anecdote. This isn't broadcastable, but here's a thing.
Is it too risque, or is it just fucking boring and off topic? Who can say?
You
Who
tell
even
us,
knows?
listeners. Tweet in at OGT Pod and let us know. We'll hold a poll, boring or off topic.
I really enjoyed that moment in my life because I do, I judge people. People are there to be judged, and I think humans make sense of the world by making harsh, snap judgments. And
I mean, you have to. What else have you got?
Well, how's he going to get by? How's he going to get the crew to respect you?
You can't talk to everyone on the street, not in London.
No,
And say, hey, are you a good person? Are you a good person?
Yeah.
Are you a good person? No, mate. Oh, wow.
Genuinely surprised that old people, old people like
Yeah,
things.
I had an old person sat in front of me at Aquaman.
What?
I know, and it's just like, you keeping up with the DC expanded universe? Or is it just...
Oh, fuck.
Or is it just, this will be like The Little Mermaid? I remember that.
Me dad took me to see The Little Mermaid.
Oh.
I was 45. And you get there and back on 2 bob. You get popcorn. It weren't popcorn in box because it's a 3-day a week.
Yeah,
but,
you cup your hands, they pour the popcorn into it.
But it was cheap because there are no blacks around. but I'm never surprised when there's an old actor or comedian comes on and it's just like fucking this up your vag, like all the old comedians do.
Yeah.
But whenever there's an old person that I know who even says something remotely
vulgar,
weird or vulgar, or likes horror movies now, it's a genuine you're me. You're me a bit from now.
I think the fact that you don't magically become a different person as you get older, I think initially that's quite frightening when you're a kid. It's like, oh god, someday I'm going to be into taxes and mortgages and stuff. The fact that genuinely you don't change, you just get taller and then shorter, is one of the great sort of scary bits of life.
Yeah.
Is the idea that at no point, there's not going to be a point where suddenly you're like, I should probably get a proper job and have some kids. Just
yeah, because it's like, oh fuck, I've got these bastards now.
I just want to play Nintendo.
Yeah.
What happened?
I haven't slept, but it's not for fun reasons. and now it's like, I was kind of banking on that. I was banking on that moment where I just feel in control and confident. And,
I see dads sometimes. I see like proper dad-looking motherfuckers. Guys who are like they're wearing like. My idea of a dad, he's got a big beard.
Yeah.
Dark hair. He's getting on a bit, and he's wearing a waistcoat, and he's got a Range Rover. He's a farm dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The waistcoat's. I think it's like, is it a gilet or something like that?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, a gilet.
It's
not a
sleeveless
suit waist
yeah,
kit.
it's a sleeveless jacket. Is what it is.
It's a fleece without sleeves.
So so that he can keep his arms free to sort of tend to cows and such. And I saw a bloke like that, and I remember thinking, I wonder if he feels like a grown up. I wonder how he thinks, or if he still feels like a little kid. wearing his dad's jacket.
I do think that there are certain things that will change you.
Sure.
You probably still think, I'm still Dave from the, Big Dave from the 80s from Brighton Pier.
Oh, everyone remembers Big Dave.
Yeah. But it's like, oh, Dave, what films have you seen recently? I saw Peppa Pig 358 times. Yeah, I saw the film Me Cleaning Sick off of my own shoes at 4 a.m, 7 days a week.
Yeah, well, I mean, you do clean puke off of your shoes at 4 a.m. as a younger man. It's just a different sort of experience.
Yeah. Less satisfying. And I think it's those kinds of experiences that change you. And I think all parents are actually kind of dead inside.
On that note, let's move on to the next one. I agree. Okay. This one is entitled The Beat and I Can't Help You. This comes from our discussion on film, when some asshole decided it was worth his time and mine to interrupt our recording. We won't be thinking that again anytime soon. Too busy thinking about the new face hole. Wow, how appropriate.
Go on.
Yes, 1982. And it's the only film on the list that could reasonably be described as a documentary. It did edge out. That's my door. Hold on.
This is a film about dogs and
Let's go get parcel in.
all right, mate. This is the 80s. This is the 80s. The film about the 80s. Film. This is the 80s. This is the 80s. A lot of things to talk about in the 80s. Like. Come on, Paul. I am running out of things to say. I didn't have much to say anyway, but that's how this podcast goes. You come with the words and I'm a hoe. You're looking very dashing in your dressing gown. Hey.
Interesting moment of cross-purpose there, where the guy was like, oh, I have a package for Miss Gooley. And I was like, right, well, I'll take it. Just thinking, okay, I'll do this person a favour and take the package in and sign for it. And he's like, I will need to see a form of ID, though. And it's like, he thought he was halting me in my tracks. Like, I'm sorry, mate, I am going to have to insist on this. But for me, it was just like, oh, great, I don't have to do it. Because I can't.
Yeah.
No, oh, God. And I didn't know how to express it. I've just, oh, nope. And just walk back to the flat. Leaving the door open.
Ah, liberating.
I can't help you.
Bye.
Still waving on the other side of the glass. I think it's great to see a little insight into how we keep ourselves amused when the other is doing something, like going for a bathroom break or something, because it's a real insight into the state of mind that the person is in at the time.
Yeah, you've got to keep it going. I think the silence after a podcast is deafening.
Yeah.
It's kind of overwhelming, so you just got to keep it going. And maybe you think, it's just a little treat for me. I'll practice my improv.
Yeah, and the other person will hear it when they get back. Yeah. Or, when they're editing later, it'll be a little thing for them.
Sometimes, though, you leave a message, and then it's you do the first edit, and you go, oh, just cut that then.
Yeah, it's not funny enough.
Oh.
Listening back to yourself searching for an answer you eventually get, because you him saying there, oh, I didn't know how to express it. It's like, you do figure it out, though. At the end, the, oh, great, I can't help you.
Yeah.
Is exactly how to express it. If listening to myself struggle to try and put it together is really frustrating. It's like, why wasn't that immediate?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good at listening to the edited version of myself. And the sound of my own voice doesn't trouble me anymore. But sometimes, the
sound of my own thought process.
Yeah, the sound of my mind trying to make things work like a normal person would. It is a little like playing Mortal Kombat with a 5-year-old. Come on, mate. You can do a combo. You just got to
just pick up the controllers.
Yeah, for a start, you just got to just do it.
Face the right way.
Yeah. Give it here, you fuck.
You have a Kinder Egg later. Okay, this was called Headweight and features more than a few baby bearders.
Really dislike looking at it.
What was your thing there, sorry? My headphones fell off my head.
With excitement.
You're losing head weight. I'm worried about you.
You're looking good, Paul. Your head's looking good.
Aw.
Sean, he's a nice boy, isn't he?
Yeah, he always tells me that my head's looking healthy.
The first thing he says every time. He's brought up proper, that boy.
Now, Sean, you're going to meet a lot of folk in this world, and all of them are going to be insecure about their heads.
Some of them are fat. Some of them less fat.
Most of them fat.
Stupid assholes, I hate them.
Mum. Okay, now it's time to get a little personal. I hate your glasses. Oh. But also, here's a little story of Paul going to the cardiologist, and then later the supermarket. Also, with some other Paul and his wacky mum.
Did I say I had to go and see the cardiologist?
Yeah. How'd that go?
Turns out a slight sinus arrhythmia, which when I had it diagnosed in Northampton, the doctor went, "Look, you're not going to drop down dead."
Yeah.
And that was what he said.
Yeah.
Turns out it's what healthy hearts have.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
It's literally nothing.
It's something. Yeah, it is literally nothing. When you breathe in, your heartbeat gets faster, and breathe out, it goes slower. And athletic people have it.
It feels like I'm suffering from nothing at all.
It's like, oh, brilliant! Thanks for just letting me think that my heart was a bit weird for about 7 years. You fucks.
Thanks,
God.
Northampton. Look, they don't have a lot of experience of healthy men up there.
Yeah, what is this? What is this heartbeat?
So I'm afraid that the blood is just flowing through your veins. I've never seen anything like it.
It's torrential.
I recommend 4 pork pies a day.
Oh Christ! What a fucking palaver. So anyway, that's that sorted.
Yeah.
Went to the other story. We went to the supermarket last night. We bought one thing from the Aldi, and we were behind somebody who had quite a lot of shopping. So we put our thing just next in line, and the woman behind us went, "Oh, you're going to pay for that as well, aren't you?" And I went, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Well, you're going to pay for hers as well." And it's just this. And she said, no, pay for it. And she picked up my yogurt and put it in the other person's shopping.
Thinking,
and I went,
you were together?
And thinking that the big lot was mine and the yogurt was Nell's, and I was making Nell pay for her yogurt.
Oh, right.
So I went, oh, no. That's not my shopping. It's just this here. I said, pointing at the yogurt. And I put it back. And she went, no, come on, you got to pay for hers. And put it back in the thing. And I went, it's not mine. It's not my shopping. Like that. And Nell was very cool and was laughing. It was like, oh, no, it was a mix-up.
You were going to say absolutely pissing herself.
She was trying not to, but I was so angry.
Please, Mr. Goodman, please pay for my shopping.
It made me so annoyed.
Yeah,
that she just kept interfering with and touching my shopping, and the second time when I did my. It's not my shopping.
Yeah.
She went, oh God, I'm so sorry. 1,000 apologies. Yeah. And then she was like, oh, it's funny. And I was going, yeah, it's great. Yeah. And I just turned and faced the other way whilst Nell carried on talking to her. I was like, no, you're dead to me. I'm done. Who are you? And for Nell, it was just a really funny sort of Brit in Australia moment. But like, I wouldn't dream of interfering with somebody shopping like that.
Yeah. That's amazing.
It made me so uncomfortable.
Aww. But I think the difference between us is that you reacted in such a way that a reasonable interaction was possible afterwards. I can only think of 2 points of comparison for this. Once, my sister was coming up our step, and I was, not near my sister. And she kind of stumbled a little bit, as she's wont to do. I stepped forward to make sure she was okay. She was. And some old woman walking past just said to me, you might help her. As if she had any idea, about any of the context of this. Of this, my sister, who's been, looking for independence for the past 30 years, who knows her own limitations, who's just stumbled a little. But my response to her was, you might mind your fucking business.
That is excellent.
Which, an apology was not going to be forthcoming in either direction.
You parted ways. It was a clean break.
That's all. For me, I'd have preferred it if she'd have stopped talking, because every consecutive word to me was an insult. It's like, no, I didn't mean carry on talking. I meant you've offended me on a deep level. Yeah, get off of my yogurt. Yeah. That's the problem. If I'd have had the quickness of mind to have turned around and used her sentence against her, then all would have been well. But all I could do...
Why don't you pay for this?
You could pay for minding your own fucking business. No, it doesn't quite work. But all I could do was in a very high pitched middle class way. Go, just get out of my life. Don't need this.
I told someone that when did I tell you when some guy came up to Katie and me and we had just seen A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
And we were also discussing Black Panther. But some guy came up to us and was like, "Excuse me, you're racist." We were like, "What?" It's like, "You're talking about killing. I can hear you talking about killing." And Katie took this opportunity to try and very politely explain that what we were talking about. I, meanwhile, started just mindlessly insulting this guy. And I said to him, "I wish you didn't exist. Please go back to not existing." It was stuff like that for a long time. I think at one point you said something like, "I'm going to call the police." And I said, "I'm going to call the police and say you're being a cunt to people."
I wish I had that.
I get it from Mum. My favourite Mum thing was when... I feel bad about this in retrospect, but at the time I was just like, yes! That's how I feel. We were outside the Garrick Theatre, and some woman sort of came away from her group and sort of whimsically strode in front of us, like without noticing. She was just doing a sort of "I'm in London" style spin around, and ended up unfortunately in front of Mum, who immediately just said, "What the fuck is this?" And the woman just said, "Oh, sorry, but..." And I...
Doesn't matter at that stage.
Doesn't matter what you say now. This is Mum's story.
And she's such a nice, polite woman to me.
Yay.
Oh, I enjoy that real talk. That's one of my favourite stories from the last year, because I think it adequately gets across me as a person and how I deal with external factors.
Being challenged in any way.
It's just, no, please. Please make this stop. Get off of my yogurt. Yeah. A fundamental difference between the two of us, I think. And I think there's room for improvement for me.
Oh God, I don't
recognise that.
I don't think I represent improvement though, because I would have just been shut the fuck up and deal with what I do it the way I'm telling you to.
Yeah, but a middle ground. A middle ground where I would have gone, "Oh no, madam, you are mistaken. This is not our shopping. This is the only shopping that we, as a couple, are purchasing on this day."
Yeah. And
then she'd have then picked up my yogurt and gone, "Come on, pay for it." And I go, "Fuck off! Get off my yogurt!" And then I'd murder her. But there'd be precedent.
And stuff her into yogurt parts.
Yeah.
And reshelve her.
Very diligent.
Where's Susan? I think I saw her around the dairy aisle. Who are you? Oh, I just came here to say that. Bye. Man, covered in blood.
Yeah, it's very bloody, that man.
Oh, God. Okay, this next one is called Hammer Song. Do you all remember when those annoying guys were on Paul's roof with their hammers?
I do.
Well, here's more of that. And some lovely Paul compliments. Just two professionals doing their thing in spite of all distractions. That's what we're dealing with today.
Oh. Oh, hammer, I love you, I do.
Hammer, give me your answer due. I'm half crazy over the use of you.
God, I can never step up to you with improv songs.
That's not true.
Might as well just...
You outpaced me in Equilibrium the musical, sir.
No.
I'm Tone Loc. That's not who it was. Who was it?
I'm Tone Loc. Yep, that's the one.
That's how it goes. Tone Loc-alike. Great. All the hits. I would have cut the compliment bit at the end of that, but I really enjoyed I'm Tone Loc. We said that about 50 times in that episode.
That's, strengths in improving musical numbers. you have to pay for it with a deficit somewhere else, and it just so happens that remembering names reliably is the opposite of that.
Yeah, that is my biggest weakness in this podcast, I think, is the ability to remember who anyone is ever.
Well, you've got me in front of you, and you're trying to remember who I am. 2 hours, the full 2 hours of the podcast.
Yeah,
so
you do have one of those faces that looks like a blurred face from like a police sketch.
Yeah, I look all pixely, like I'm being filtered through Australian broadband from 10 years ago. But yeah, no, I can't keep pace with your musical improving.
Aww.
My improving is just built upon giving really just glib, ironic remarks, 5 words or less to the clever things you say.
I remember being really genuinely jealous when during the Equilibrium musical of just, oh shit, that's a really good line. Let's continue. Let's carry on with this.
Let's keep going. Let's make this a full musical.
Yeah, with me only just being able to say I'm Tone Loc every now and then.
I used up my one musical thing in that episode.
I had a token for a free great musical improvisation. Okay, this one's called Shopping, and it represents how Goodman's home life sometimes spills over into the pod life.
Oh no.
But also that sometimes Goodman is perhaps a little too tired when we record these things.
Oh. Where are you off to?
Okay, cool. Okay, I can't think of anything, but just grab a whole bunch of stuff.
Grab
anything.
One of everything, please. Battenberg cake, sausage roll, cabbage, tin foil, kitchen plunger, child sweets, lawnmower, HDMI cable 3 meters.
Not even sure that was funny.
No, am I? I'm very happy that it was.
Yeah, child sweets is amazing.
The child sweets is pretty good.
I am tired most of the time, actually.
Me too.
It's a serious problem. I need to get it sorted as soon as I get home.
There is probably an hour of the day in which we are the best suited for doing podcasts, and we've never been able to hit it.
Well, we'll occasionally have a podcast where we'll both be in the zone and go, that was amazing.
Yeah.
But it seems to hop around like a whack-a-mole.
And then we try and, like footballers, recreate the exact situation that surrounded our inexplicable victory.
Yeah.
And,
So I cried for 8.5 minutes this morning.
It's that dogging party. Now I'm going to have to keep going to them. God, footballers are lovely blokes. It's just every so often they get caught out, and then they win, and they have to keep doing it. You know, as part of the ritual, like, oh, I made that really horrible comment. I'm going to have to keep making those.
Oh, I tweeted there was no room for gays in football. And it was a bet. I didn't even mean it.
Oh, if my account got hacked, but now I'm going to have to every week. I play a game.
Can't you just tap the sign before you go out on the pitch, like they used to in the 70s? Different time, mate.
70s. Fuck off, more like. Look, I'm not having the sideburns, okay? Can't do it. I'd rather make the racist tweets.
Dark time.
Oh, this next one is from our cinema episode, an episode that we agreed to try and not swear in so that my grandmother could listen to it, which resulted in many problems. I like to call this clip Sweaty Balls. A film about how important it is to appreciate good silence and quietness.
Fuck me. Oh, golly.
I'll leave in the odd one, it's fine. She can deal with it. She survived a war.
Do you want to dub it? Do you want to dub it out? Fuck me, there's a war on. Fucking hell.
Fucking hell.
It's a fucking bomb.
Look at this.
God. Oh, God. Oh, no. It's blasphemy.
God, crap, balls, bum is fine. Okay. Balls? Yeah. So, noisebleed.
Sweaty balls.
I like to think that you cut that just before 17 seconds of silence of reaction.
God damn it. I feel like there was more mileage in the idea that the war was super sweary.
Yeah.
And just, that's why old people really shouldn't mind the swearing.
Yeah.
Fucking blitz everywhere.
Jesus Christ, look at these Nazi cunts.
God, fuck off, Hitler.
Yeah.
All the time. God, you know what? I had a sliver of bacon the other day. First one in fucking months. What even is that? Do we not have pigs? Did Hitler take the pigs? What is this?
Thinner than 9 tits, Marjorie. Look, Edward, not in front of the children.
There are no children. They got up to pissing country because it's too dangerous for them to be in the city. All right for us, isn't it? Oh no, we've got to make them safe.
Not for our wanky children. Streak of piss. Ball bags. What was that about, Edward?
Stricker piss kids. Fucking hell. Bloody nightmare.
Yeah, it would have been rubbish. It's true, though. I mean, Churchill must have sworn like a fucking bastard. and, like, surely, like...
We shall find them on the fucking beaches. And the twatty landing grounds.
We'll smash those cunts.
We'll never surrender. Especially not to those pussies.
Not to those gaylords.
We're going to have to edit this, Bob. Yeah, I know.
When I watch historical dramas where people swear, it's all very disorienting, I think. It's like, why isn't everyone speaking in regal English? Or why aren't you Ben Whishaw just being like, oh, I'm just looking out for me and the kids, Kerry Mulligan, I'm not a convincing adult. He's never a convincing adult, Ben Whishaw.
No, it's odd, isn't it? He's playing the dad in the new Mary Poppins, and I just can't help but look at him and just think, no, you're not.
That's not your moustache, Ben Whishaw.
It's not your moustache, put it back. Give it back to the bloke you took it off of.
Give it back to Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, okay.
Ben Whishaw also doesn't do a convincing Cockney dad accent in Suffragette, so it's kind of...
Oh, yeah.
Get Ray Winston in for everything.
You fucking slag, you ain't going to your woman's meeting. Pissing woman's meeting.
You go to that fucking horse race, I'll forget your mother was so nice to me. Cut your fucking... What'd you have?
What you got, love? I'll cut them off. Free of charge, 2 for £1.
Oh, dads.
Oh, dads. It's no secret to our fans that I often forget our very simple and seldom varied formula. So here's an example of me forgetting a very crucial part of our format. The critical reviews of this film bespeak a much bitchier time for film criticism.
Yeah, I'm Paul Goodman.
Oh, yeah.
That'll do.
I'm Paul Sold.
Just move on.
Often forget that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, us.
It's happened a few times. It's alright. It's nice to be right once in a while.
Quite crucially, I think, with Baby Beard once, which actually made it to the episode.
Sometimes it's genuinely funny. The part of the kimono.
Sometimes it's genuinely really irritating. You just be like, wow, I already fucked something up. Already. And this is all written down. This bit.
Oh, it's the non-words that are the best, though.
Yeah.
They always come smooth.
It's the words you don't say.
Yeah.
And here's our take on sports singing.
Have you ever noticed that? How like sports fans, particularly football fans, when they sing, it doesn't matter whether they're on their own or in a crowd.
Yeah.
It always sounds like it's a crowd.
The one I always hear is the fucking the weather song. Like, anywhere you go, always check the weather or something. That seems to be all it ever is. It's just, I don't know.
Oh no!
What the fuck?
It's for me. It's just the name of the football man, and then whoa, Gianfranco Zola, whoa, Margaret Thatcher.
I love this because English football teams always take their players from such exotic places. You're supposed to be like more and more obtuse names that they're having to celebrate in their blokey kind of way. Alejandro Juliago.
Erco, no, Filipino. Then that guy gets lynched.
Toshio Nitsufune.
Honke Boon. Go back to Seoul.
Zhao Zhao.
Brilliant. And then that was a niche bit. We rarely do football bits. Wonder why.
Who can relate to having experienced footballers in England? No one, I expect.
Oh God! One day we'll recommend the firm for when we do the Green Street or something, and then we can get into that properly. So
one day we shall properly get into that.
Oh God, there's an untapped well of shit British football films, lad films about.
Well, Football Factory,
people.
I think, is coming up in the next decade.
Oh, well, fuck off!
Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead right now and say Danny Dyer's the one good thing.
Whether he's in it or not.
Yeah, I've seen it. I'm pretty sure he's in it.
Oh fuck me! I've not. I don't want to.
I'm looking forward to actually seeing that again and seeing how I've changed.
God, there's a whole thing of like. I don't want to say working class British films, but working class British films like Rise of the Foot Soldier, where it's just sort of British attempts at like ultra masculine American movies like Death Wish and stuff, which I know was directed by a Brit, but it's just when set in England is always just so much more depressing. Like, from what I remember,
Yeah.
Rise... no, not... What was the one with Sean Bean? Outlaw? Something like that? Outcast? One of these out movies.
Yeah.
It was just him and his mates, like, deciding... problem with Britain is... Yeah, it's gotten out of control. I can't remember who the villains are, but they go shoot a whole bunch of folks. Yeah, some lads.
Yeah.
And they go shoot a whole bunch of people with shotguns and then die in the woods.
Yeah.
And it was just the most depressing fucking movie. I think Sean Bean plays some sort of night watchman. Oh, Jesus. I just remember being sad.
What was that awful Harry Kane? That awful Michael Caine movie? Harry Brown?
Yeah, that's right. Where
Problem with the youth of today. It was no respect.
That was it. It was the Ute that was the villain in that one.
Smoking their drugs.
Not like back in my day.
Yeah.
That was Death Wish. That movie was fucking Death Wish. It was just young people are frightening the movie.
Yeah.
You know, at least Japan, when they want to make that movie, they make Battle Royale.
Yeah, like an actual good, clever thing.
Yeah, a good, clever thing where the parents' fear of children is also the bad guy.
Yeah. Kind of makes Dead Man's Shoes look aspirational.
Yeah.
At least he had a method.
Oh, God. At least it was up north.
Yeah.
Far away.
Where the proper villains are. Attack the Block, though. The Utes were the good guys in the end.
They were misunderstood.
Empathy was needed, and the connection needed to be made for Jodie Whittaker, Emily Mortimer to get through to John Boyega.
Yeah, come on, ladies, try harder. Hug a hoodie. Okay.
That's not what I meant.
I know.
I hate you.
Okay, this next one's called Underworld. I have no idea where this is from, but here's a bit about the band Underworld. But it also explores the limitations of my imagination. Does anyone have Underworld's phone number? They live together.
Danny Boy was the landlord.
You're right, Barry Underworld. I'm okay, Tony Underworld. Do you want to do a banging tune?
Not anymore.
Dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun,
that's not me
dun,
anymore.
dun, dun, dun. Shut up.
I'm a jazz. I'm a jazz man now.
I'm a pharmacist. So it really made me laugh.
Paul Salt, the new Shaft, just going around laughing at his own jokes.
I can't read this note on this prescription. What does it say? Fuck you, Barry. Why is every character I invent called Barry or Tony? What's wrong with me?
You're just trapped in this English prison of shitness. You got nothing.
Fuck, I have literally nothing. What's Barry short for? Antonio. Anyway.
Barrister.
Barrister. Fabulous. I do lean on Barry a lot.
Yeah, it's a satisfying mouth sound.
Yeah, there's some names which are just kind of satisfactorily a bit rubbish.
Yeah, it's Dave or Barry or
Fred.
yeah. Colin.
And we know many lovely people by all of those names. Yeah. Best Collins.
Yeah.
Love him. But
fucked a Colin.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. He fucked me, eh?
Yeah.
That's the reality of it.
Everyone got fucked by Colin. But yeah, there's just something about the names that are just reliably like one syllable. We never go to Paul, but there is something rubbish. There's something definitely rubbish about Paul.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously too close to home, but I think if you wanted to be like, I could be president one day. Me, I'm Paul.
Paul Davies.
Yeah, I'm head of the Warwick young boys working club. We get them ready for a life of men's working clubs. Vote for me, Paul.
Yeah.
Paul Barnley.
And yet we did have a Call Me Dave as Prime Minister.
We did have a Call Me Dave. And what a fantastic success he turned out to be.
Not because of his name, though, but he turned out to be one of the worst Prime Ministers our country's ever had.
I think it's not the name itself, not the name itself, but his willingness to align himself with the epithet Dave showed what he thought of the rest of us.
That's true. He revealed himself.
Yeah.
In that. Any man who goes by the name Dave is clearly up to something.
Is the same guy who said, no, if we have the alternative vote, what will happen is it'll be like going to the chip shop, asking for chips and getting Savoy. Does that make sense, you fucking work scum? Resounding defeat for the AV vote.
Tell you what, you can have all the pasties you like. I've changed my mind.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Dave. It's all right, mate. Don't worry about it.
We've got you.
On you go. We've bought their children, right? Yeah. Oh, no, sorry. I was saying that to an aide. You can't hear that. Oh, no, I can't. Okay.
Yeah. You're literally not allowed to hear that.
In this one, Paul seems rather perturbed to find that I have something of his. Sorry, this is your notebook again I'm writing in. And I just found at the back you've written the note, family-war, question mark?
Is that for Armageddon?
I don't know, this is, below it says consumption before 1948, so I'm guessing not. This is an old book.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Is that my dissertation?
Notes.
Like, dissertation notes?
I see him so.
Fucking hell.
Fucking hell.
All right.
I don't know how I got this.
Don't go back to university and steal my good grades.
I really could do with it, is the thing.
Christ. Well, anyway. We probably said something good in there.
You seem perturbed.
Shaq's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. You seem genuinely upset that I have that.
It's weird. Why the fuck would you have my dissertation notes?
It's this notebook, I think. It's just...
Oh, so I must have
it is.
just brought it with me.
Yeah, and then left it here.
It
was just the oddness of it. Like somehow I'd been to your mum's or something and gotten your notebook.
Like, oh, here's his dissertation from the consumption rates between 1948 and 1955.
It was a pretty good read, although I did find it a little bit derivative of its source materials. Really harsh.
I know.
Shut up, Mum.
You don't have your way to do historiography just to smack me down. You're not 5'9", says my mum. You're about 5'6". You're 5'6", Mum. Anyway.
This next one's called End on That, and I can only imagine that this came from one of our very early morning sessions. Okay, that'll be a good end point.
Okay.
I think there's a good 28 seconds in there.
Yeah, we can cut some, keep some. Be good.
Okay, cut some, keep all of it. Cut all of it. I don't know.
Cut you.
Like a fucking kipper.
Could end it on that.
End on this. Just end.
Fuck. Let's keep ending it.
Hello, bye. Hello, let's end on that. Just a little inexplicable moment of madness there.
Best bits usually, you just keep saying things without really knowing what you're saying.
And hope it all works out.
Yeah, so most of my best bits come.
Yeah. Okay. Right. This one is called Sneeze. And we have the Pauls participating in their customary synchronization ritual, in which they both count down from 3 so that the timelines can be matched up easily later. For further evidence that we are totally unable to do this at any time, please see our first appearance on Shut Up and Take My Podcast. But here's another failure for you, Ben.
5.
I'm going to sneeze.
4.
No, I'm going to sneeze.
3,
I'm going to sneeze.
2. 1. Well, you sneezed exactly on 1 for me, so...
Okay. Do it again, you prick.
No. 5, 4,
3, 2, 1. Wonderful.
Groovy.
I'm going to sneeze. I don't care. 5, 4.
I'm a professional.
Sometimes you just got to get shit done. It's the thing.
Yeah. You can't slow down for twats. Sneezy twats.
Sneezy pricks that you meet on your way about the place.
If everyone did that, we wouldn't have civilization as we know it.
Classic.
I think Samuel Pepys once said.
Look out for the sneezy twats. Okay, this one's called Braveheart, and it's a clip of me realising that Are You Playing With Me, Cleric, was also Jeff from Saw 3 and Robert the Bruce in Mel Gibson's Bravemel. It also features an early Nolan. Of course he's in the Saw films.
Yes, he's Jeff.
Of course he fucking is. Robert the Bruce was Jeff from the Saw films. Wow. It's a small world after all. I should have known it was all in those crazy eyes. Those crazy eyes that say I have faced down both John Kramer and fucking Mel Gibson.
Well, he was friends with Mel Gibson, really, which isn't as impressive. Actually, being friends with Mel Gibson, that's like clinging onto a speedboat as it never finishes its never-ending journey through the ocean.
Through the ocean of anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
I hate this ocean. Why do we keep coming here? Look, it's cheap, okay?
I call this the white water section of me racism. Hold on tight, Angus. Oh, I hate you, Mel Gibson.
Keep it white water.
Yeah. Oh, I got a mouthful of your anti-Semitism. Salty.
You know, I hear, and I don't know, cynically, you could call it like a publicity move to try and win public opinion back over to his side, which obviously I do because I've introduced it before I've even told you what the thing he's done is. But he gives a lot of money to Holocaust survivor charities now.
Angus McFadden.
Yes,
so he should.
He should. He knows what he did.
Equilibrium.
I know I wasn't directly involved in the Holocaust, but that film was very overwrought. So, here's a quid or two. Thanks, Angus McFadden.
Whoever you are. Are you Jeff from Saw? No. Look at my picture. I'm holding a gun. I'm
a badass.
That's not what Jeff from Saw does.
I think.
That's what Robert the Bruce in the new 2019 film Robert the Bruce does.
Braveheart.
Can you imagine if the story of Robert the Bruce was set in 2022 with a gangland Al Capone style scenario?
Join me, Christopher Nolan, in this nightmarish vision of Scottish independence.
Set in New York. Take it away, Hans.
Do.
It's the worst talk show. If he's the only if you know how Stuart Lee came and revolutionised TV stand-up? I think if Christopher Nolan was given a talk show, he'd do much the same.
Well,
but for cinema, every week would be a new film.
Joking aside, he has done like some really cool interviews. Like he interviewed the cast of Heat, which was a panel that included fucking Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. But the thing, he would always ask these questions where he would be talking for like 2 minutes, and then at the end of it, Robert De Niro was like, "Yeah, I think." Did you intentionally recontextualize the John Wayne archetype in the context of the sort of early modern sort of Robin Hood style character? Was that something you did intentionally, or did it just sort of come organically? I went through 6 weeks of gun training.
That's great. Yes.
Brilliant.
Take it away, Hans.
Do. I don't think that's the first time we did Chris. I feel like we know him well enough now to call him Chris.
Sea dog.
We've been inside his old brain.
Yeah, but you can see the sort of gestation of the Chris Nolan baby.
Yes, I remember being upset to cut that because I wanted that gestation in there, because I think we later in Equilibrium do the Chris Nolan bit, and I was trying to think, is this self-explanatory enough? And it turns out it really needs very little explanation.
Well, no one's asked for it anyway.
No one's been like, hang on a minute, is that what Christopher Nolan sounds like?
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's an even older one from back when we used to podcast in the same room. Imagine that hell. I know. It's from Mordecai. Let's get into it.
Oh boy, it's cold.
Coming at you live from Victorian London. It's Paul and Paul.
The Thames is frozen over.
Coming up next, Shania Twain.
Mainstay of Victorian London.
She was welcomed in all the courts.
Well, she came back after being accused of being a witch and then being burnt at the stake.
Yeah.
And then she came back, and so it was obvious that she was a witch. But everyone was okay with it for some reason.
Yeah, once the mystery was gone. Once, you
Yeah.
you didn't have to wonder anymore. You just got into it. You know, Shania the witch.
Yeah, well, you're only sort of scared of what you don't know, aren't you? And once you figured out that Shania Twain is a witch,
Yeah.
And always will be.
Yeah. Nothing else is really left unsaid.
Yeah. Maybe I will dance to Man I Feel Like a Woman.
Boy, you know what? I really
Feel like
feel
like a witch.
Man, I feel like a witch.
That's a frightful laugh.
No.
One by one, the band gets turned into frogs.
That's imaginative a little bit.
Aww.
Aww.
That's what happens when you let two Pauls off in the same room.
Oh, you let them off in the same room.
Yeah.
Don't light the fuse until you're at least 100 feet away from the Pauls. Okay, I lit a Paul in there. I lit a Paul in there. Fuck.
Better record this.
But
no one will believe it.
They're going to go on about Shania Twain again. So we've cut it out every time, but it always reverts back to her. See what you make of this. Here's us recording with a guy named Matt, and we seem to have lost his side of the conversation, but I think we can piece it all together.
I'm going to get some water as well from my fridge.
I already have water, so it's just you and me, Matt. I see. I'm basically Jesus, yeah.
Finally, as an extra special treat, we do have some audio clips of tests that we did. Even before we recorded our very first episode. It's like test tracks from Pink Floyd or something. Just them messing around, trying to find C. I think I got it, mate. No.
Hello? Test?
Hello? Yeah.
Keep saying things.
Hello, I am Paul. The other Paul. That's me.
And hello, I am Paul. Yet another Paul.
So this is us talking. I think talk for a few minutes just to make sure it picks everything up.
Yeah, I think that's good, and we need to just figure out the right distance from the microphones, how close we need to be. So this is me quite close to the microphone, probably the closest that I can get. Some nice big fat healthy purple chunks. This is me
down the audacity.
Yeah, just fucking dribbling their way down. Here's me at medium, just doing the whole medium thing. Buddhism. It's the middle way. And then this is me distant, and I think this will probably be too quiet. Look at those shit
those
things.
Little rabbit turds of blue dots.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello, test.
Hello there.
Hello, are you reading me?
Hello, I am speaking.
Are we picking up each other on the other mic?
I don't know. You tell me.
Let's find out. Right here on... What's this thing called?
Paul to Paul.
Paul to
The
Paul.
ultimate truth.
The ultimate truther experiment.
Oh,
come on now, those guys.
Crazy fools.
Those young gentlemen.
I was taken aback at the compliment. Never called that. Either of those anymore. No, guess I am.
I was called gentleman once. Oh yes, it's the gentleman over here. He's the one who was caught stealing spoons.
Here's the gentleman with the prolapsed anus that I was telling you about.
Could you get him out of our gym, please?
He refuses. Tied himself.
I told you, I literally can't.
Not until you closed. My anus.
I just add my anus to the end of sentences anymore.
Very effective. Oh. What a pair of pulls.
What a pair of pulls. Oh. Wasn't that fun experimenting with sort of the episodic structure that we usually have?
Yeah.
It was fun revisiting some of the moments there.
I think so. It's good to go back and go, oh, there's some of the good stuff we cut and some of the other stuff too.
Well, we cut some really good bits and a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, and all the rest. You're welcome, listeners at home. So next time you listen to an OGT episode and think, oh, I wonder what they cut, know that we mostly left the good stuff in.
Not much is the answer.
But there was that one. One time.
That one that we really fucking begrudged.
Oh. Could have just left it in for like a minute.
Yeah.
A minute's difference.
Should have.
Why didn't we?
Find out.
Bye.
Well, don't worry, everyone. Next week we're going to be back to a perfectly normal... What was that?
I didn't hear anything, mate.
Oh.
Maybe if I just... Hearing the... Oh, this isn't funny anymore.